Hello, expectation. No matter where I go, I'm always waiting. You and me both know that I've been patient.
And even though I'm living with my feet up on the ground, I'ma always be around, cause no matter what it is, I know you gon' hold me down. Living every day like my last. See, my life ain't been the same ever since Derek crashed. Might see me up on Staten in the 6'4". Swag saying I ain't going back to Bispo. Bright lights, bad chick just to flirt with. It's my girl, but only when that cam's working. In my world, it's completely the opposite. So when that cam goes off, it's back to the projects. Back to them gunshots and sirens. Money on my mind, trying to get about this violence. It ain't all good when you living the way I am, and I can make it. All I gotta do is rhyme shit. Give my fam what I wanted for my mom's it. Man up, still I got the doubt up in my mind, kid. I know I got angels just looking down on me. I'm just trying to make them prouder.
Hello, expectation. No matter where I go, I'm always waiting. You and me both know that I've been patient.
And even though I'm living with my feet up on the ground, I'ma always be around, cause no matter what it is, I know you gon' hold me down.
Look, this rap thing ain't never what it seems. Half of it is a facade, like I'm selling you a dream. I pop pills when my nights go wrong, and then I smile for the cameras when the lights come on. So all the pretty girls wanna flirt with me, and brain's cool, but that ain't smart enough for me. And wifey think I'm still who I used to be, and I don't blame her, I'm still trying to get used to me. You see it's happening so fast, and money ain't a thing. Still feeling like I'm homeless, how I'm looking for change. The business got me feeling like a slave, gave my freedom for a crack at the house, the whip and the chains. Something wrong here, I don't feel right. Is she faithful when I'm gone, or my kids right? I just wanna fast forward to the good life. Until then, I just gotta make sure these hooks right.
Expectation. No matter where I go, I'm always waiting. You and me both know that I've been patient.
And even though I'm living with my feet up on the ground, I'ma always be around, cause no matter what it is, I know you gon' hold me down. Going through the hospital doors to find out you when.
What's good? Welcome to Knicks N Ish. Shout out to my people in the building. You feel me? If you're in the building, press share for your boy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Fresh Traz, I see you, Brody. Was good. Was good. Was good. You know what I mean? I took a little hiatus. Trey Smith, I see you. We ain't talking about that right now. This is Knicks N Ish. We ain't go to that other page with that. Go to Big Fan Breezy page with that. We ain't talking about that right now. We talking about the Knicks. You feel me? So get with it or get gone. You my guy though. You feel me? But get with it or get gone. You know what I mean? Like I said, Fast Traz in the building. We got some things to talk about. I decided to take a break. You feel me? It's the all-star break, and in my own right and in my own mind, I'm an all-star myself. So I decided to take a break. You know, shout out to my guy Cav for pulling up on Knicks N Ish yesterday to report, you know, the news that's going on with Kemba. As usual, did a great job. That's my guy, you feel me? But we got some things to talk about. I've been gone for like a week, you know, since our last game. So we got some things to talk about. I want to do a little catching up. Look, see, trying hard. Look, so we got some things to catch up on since I've been gone for a while. I don't know where you at. If you're watching, can you see Stephen Kennedy in the building? What's good, my boy? You know. So boom, right? So since Stephen Kennedy is in the comments already mentioned what our first topic is gonna be. You know what I mean? Well, I ain't even getting right yet. You feel me? Even though, so Stephen Kennedy, this is our first topic. You know, I've been gone for a while. You know what I mean? And, you know, there's been a lot. There's been a lot to say about. There's been a lot said about the slam dunk contest. Mixed feelings. People calling it, the worst slam dunk contest ever. Yada 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 yada. Yo, listen, man. Obi won. Ain't Obi fault. You feel me? Those other guys, they ain't show up. You feel me? They ain't show up at all. They wasn't prepared for the slam dunk contest. But Obi was. You feel me? Obi was absolutely like, he showed up. He gave y'all dunks y'all ain't never seen before. Tell me one person who's seen anybody jump over a man while putting the ball behind his back. Tell me. Please tell me one person who ever seen that dunk before. Tell me who seen a man not only hit you with the East Bay, but hit it off the glass before dunking. Tell me, this is not the first slam dunk contest where the winner missed a few tries of a dunk. This is not the first. You feel me? Those other guys was trash, absolutely. But Obi gave y'all a show. You feel me? Gave y'all dunks y'all ain't never seen before. It's not Obi's fault that nobody else came prepared. And I absolutely believe he got robbed on some of those dunks. That should have been a 50. The one behind the back jumping over a guy, that should have been a 50. Easily should have been a 50. His final dunk, I understand why you don't give him a 50, because he tried that dunk like mad different times before he got it in his last try. You feel me? So I understand why that may not be a 50, but it could have been a 50. That's a dunk you never seen before. The commentators should be ashamed of themselves commentating on the dunk contest, especially Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith talk a wild trash when all his dunks that he won a slam dunk contest with would have been a 35 in this year's slam dunk contest. In these day and age, the dunks that Kenny Smith dunked in his winning year would have been 35s across the board. 35s across the board. For him to be talking as spicy as he was about the dunk contest, oh, I seen that dunk before. You couldn't even do those dunks. What are you talking about, Kenny Smith? Reggie Miller on top of that, you never dunked. Reggie Miller, like, how are you talking spicy? You ain't never dunked. And I'm disappointed in some of the judges, not giving Obi, especially for that one behind the back over a person. That should have been easily a 50. Like, these guys are out here doing dunks that these legends, all due respect to them, couldn't even dream about doing. These guys never even dreamed about doing what Obi was doing in the slam dunk contest. Never dreamed about doing it. If you would have told all those legends, Clyde the Glide, Dr. J, how is Isaiah Thomas a slam dunk judge? And he never dunked. But anyway, if you would have told any of those guys to go dunk the ball, but put the ball between their legs first in the air before they dunked it, they would have looked at you crazy, because they wasn't doing that. That's something they never did. They couldn't even dream about doing. And the fact that y'all trying to diminish the fact that Obi has, like, y'all trying to put a damper on this man, achievement, something that he's dreamt of doing his whole entire life, and finally got the chance to do it and win. And then y'all going to try to poop on it. The fact that Reggie Miller and D Wade and Kenny Smith were talking so much trash about the slam dunk contest while this kid was receiving his trophy is despicable. And they should be ashamed of themselves. They couldn't even let that young man have that moment. That's sad. There's been other slam dunk contest champions who've won by not completing their dunks on the first try. We've seen it. It was at one point so bad that they put a timer for completing dunks one year. Steven, this is my point, Steven. This is my point. You feel me? I agree. It wasn't a great slam dunk contest, but don't try to take away what Obi did. Don't do that. Because Obi gave y'all dunks y'all ain't never seen before. Put some respect on that young man's name. A lot of the people that was commentating and saying the things that they were saying couldn't even think of doing the dunks that Obi was doing. Oh, Tom Flowers, we not doing that. Oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, Tom Flowers. You out of here. You out of here, bro. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, bro. Get out of here with that. Word. This is a place you can have your disagreements wherever you want, but you're gonna be respectful when you pull up to Knicks N Ish. Shout out to my bro Nicovelli. We not doing that. We're not doing that. Y'all can have your disagreements over the debate, but we're not doing that here. You feel me? That's not what we're doing here. So you're out of here, Tom Flowers. Word. Word. But like I was saying, we word, man. You gotta keep it tasteful around here. You feel me? We gotta keep it tasteful. We're not doing that. But yeah, it's despicable that and for the I don't know, I forgot the lady's name. Kev is in the building. Yo, Kev, if you available, you more than welcome to pull up, Brody. You feel me? But if you can't, I understand. Yeah, so even the lady that was that did the post slam dunk interview, she was trashed for asking him that question. Who is it? How is it, you wait, how is it this young man's place to say that the slam dunk contest should be moved or not? Like that's a hard that's a putting a damper on that young man's moment. You feel me? Like I feel like it was kind of an agenda that was going on that night to push the 3-point contest to after the slam dunk contest. I'm not saying I'm even against that, but I'm saying the way that it was going about is trash. You feel me? For that woman to even ask that young man that question after he just won the slam dunk contest, it's like trying to put a rain on his parade. She's trash for that. That was a trash question. Trash. And she should be ashamed that y'all was not even trying to let this young man enjoy his moment. Ask him that question a week from now. Yo, listen, Steven, I agree with you. I'm not saying that the slam dunk contest was the most entertaining slam dunk contest I've ever seen. I'm not saying that it wasn't bad. But what I'm saying is put some respect on Obi's name because it's not Obi's fault that nobody else was prepared. It's not his fault. And I'm just going to leave that topic there. Let my man Obi rock. You feel me? Let Obi rock. And give him his flowers for winning. Because Obi came prepared and he gave y'all dunks y'all ain't never seen before. That's a fact. So moving on. All good, Kev. All good, Brody. So boom. Kev, don't even worry about it, bro. You already know how we rock. Shout out to you. You did a great job yesterday reporting the news on Kemba, by the way. You know what I mean? I gave you a shout out earlier. So boom. Moving on to the next topic, we're going to talk about Charles Oakley's comment about the great Patrick Ewing. Great Patrick Ewing. Charles Oakley's comments. And he pretty much said that, Patrick Ewing left his aggressiveness in Georgetown. He wasn't doing the things that put him in position to actually win a championship. He complained about Patrick Ewing's shot selection and taking all the shots. And I just want to say, Charles Oakley, is definitely trying to sell his book, bro. Like that's like I can't explain it any other way than that. You feel me? And Charles Oakley again is another person that needs to be ashamed of himself. 20 something years after you played with Charles Oakley, play with Patrick Ewing, now you decide when you have a book out that you was going to say all these negative things about Patrick Ewing, the great Patrick Ewing, greatest Knick of all time. You know, we'll say that he left his aggressiveness in Georgetown is another ridiculous statement. The whole time Patrick Ewing was in his prime, he was on all defensive teams every single year. Not only was he giving you buckets, he was a great shot blocker, all-time leader in shot blocking for the Knicks. You feel me? He gave you great defense. He was great on the offensive end of the ball, was literally the heart and soul of the team. None of you guys were scorers. Never in your career, Charles Oakley, have you averaged more than like 12 points a game. Like, let's be real. Was he supposed to pass the ball to you for you to score? Your offensive package wasn't elite like that. Pause. Your offensive package wasn't elite like that. Pause. And I will say that for most of the Knicks. Patrick was playing in an era where the offense ran through the big man. He was the big man. Number 1 draft pick. Big man. Though Patrick Ewing has never won a ring, I can honestly say watching Patrick Ewing play, he gave his all every single night. Every single night, he came with it. Charles Oakley, that is a despicable comment for him to even say that Patrick Ewing didn't do everything that he could to try to bring a championship to New York City. Patrick Ewing is one of the very few stars that's never played with an all-star. He had no all-stars on his team. How many champions you know that played and won a championship with no other all-stars on their team? How many? Not to mention he was going up against the great Michael Jordan. Going up against the great Michael Jordan and getting bumped. So for Charles Oakley to sit there in that interview and say that Patrick Ewing left his aggressiveness in Georgetown, that he wasn't giving his all over every night, is ridiculous, bro. Stephen Kennedy, again on point, bro. Yo, listen, bro. This is what I'm saying. Pat, is a dub for him, Kev. Pat gave his all every single night, bro. Pat gave his all every. How dare you say such blasphemous statements about the great Patrick Ewing? How dare you? Patrick Ewing took all of the shots because Curtis in the building. You know I gotta see. You know I gotta shout out my guy. You feel me, Curtis? I see you, bro. Yeah, how dare you, bro? Like I said, Patrick Ewing has never played with all-star. The offensive weight and the weight of the team's success was squarely on his shoulders. And he not only was he going against the great Michael Jordan and getting bumped most of those years of his prime. Look at the teams Michael Jordan had. They were all stars on those teams, man. And at the very least, he always had Scottie, all-star, one of the 50 greatest players of all time, Scottie Pippen. Tell me who on that list of Knicks players that Patrick Ewing played with were on the 50 greatest players of all time. Nobody. That's the answer to that question. You know, I was very upset when Charles Oakley got kicked out of the Garden. I thought it was a travesty, and I still think it's a travesty. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You know, I still think it's a travesty of Charles Oakley being carried out of the Garden the way that he did. But ever since then, I think he's starting to show his true colors, man. I think he's starting to show his true colors, and it's sad. It's sad that Oakley going out like this, man. All to sell a book, you trying to tarnish the great Patrick Ewing's name. You taking the Scottie Pippen route, or how Scottie is treating Michael Jordan? Like, oh, your rep wasn't really that big before you became a Knick, bro. Like, you was a solid player. They don't herald you in Chicago the way they herald you in New York City. You don't get that kind of love in Chicago, and you played there, Playboy. You don't get that kind of love. Oh, but now you're coming at the guard, bro. Trying to put a stain on the legacy of the great Patrick Ewing. It's you can't do it. You can't do it. You had a lot of support in the Knick faithful after what happened between you and James Dolan, and now we looking at you funny. Oh, we looking at you funny. There's no reason for you to be trying to tarnish the great Patrick Ewing's name. Find another way to sell a book. Find another way to sell a book. But coming at the great Patrick Ewing is blasphemous, bro. It's blasphemous. It's blasphemous, bro. And I'm very ashamed of Charles Oakley right now. Very ashamed. I wouldn't say Charles Oakley was trash. Charles Oakley was the enforcer and a bruiser that we needed on that team. I think that team is good because of Mason Oak and what they brought defensively and the toughness that they brought on a daily basis. You know, every superstar needs those kind of players around them. I think Patrick Ewing absolutely needed Charles Oakley and Mace to do the things that they did. They keep him being able to go and get buckets. That's how teams were structured back then. You always had that one guy that was with the smoke and did all of the gritty, hustle, grimy things that you needed him to do while your superstar was able to focus on getting buckets. And that's what Oak brought. And it respect to him for that. But what he's doing now in trying to tarnish Patrick Ewing's name is despicable. It's despicable, and he should be ashamed of himself to try to sell a book. Should be ashamed of yourself. Patrick Ewing left his toughness in Georgetown. How? Man was contested everything. Pat contested everything, even if it meant getting dunked on and put on a poster. What are you talking about? The leader in blocks in New York Knicks history. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? But yeah, that's all the time I'm gonna waste my breath on Charles Oakley blasphemous statements. Despicable. Despicable. Shame on you, Charles Oakley. Shame on you, bro. I think this reflects more poorly on you than it does Patrick Ewing. Shame on you, Charles Oakley. I hope you find peace because what you doing ain't it, Playboy. What you doing ain't it. Now moving on, we're gonna talk about the recent news of Kemba Walker. My bro, Kev reported on this yesterday via Knicks N Ish. Shout out to my bro. I already gave him a shout out, but gotta shout him out again because he did a great job. Now I mean, Kemba Walker is reportedly benched for the rest of the season. I can't say I absolutely agree with it. I wish it would have happened sooner. I wish it would have happened sooner. I don't know why it took so long. You could have probably did this about 10, 15 games ago, to be perfectly honest. You probably did this about 10, 15 games ago. We probably get some more wins in that time period. But I can honestly tell you, I understand why it didn't happen 10, 15 games ago. Coach Tommy T, in his post-practice interview, pretty much said that it wasn't his decision. He alluded to it. You feel me? Uh, he said that it was a discussion between Leon and Kemba's agents, and that's when the decision was made. Pretty much leaving himself out of the discussion when it comes to what happened and the decision making of Kemba being benched. I want to say shout out to Leon Rose for stepping up and stepping in. Because it was obvious that it needed to happen, and it's obvious that Coach Tommy T wasn't going to pull the trigger on that, and I'm happy that it happened. I'm happy that it happened. Shout out to Leon Rose for noticing that Coach was going to be stubborn on this, and we was going to be stuck playing a shell of Kemba Walker for the remainder of the season, when there's definitely more options on the team, and forcing his hand to expand his rotation just a little bit. You know, Coach Tommy T also spoke on the fact that he knew that it was a risk, that we knew that it was a risk bringing Kemba Walker in, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. I wish it would have worked out. I wish Kemba Walker the best going in the future. I don't know what's going to happen next season, if we're going to keep him, if we're going to try to move him, or if we're going to buy him out, whatever the case may be. I don't know, right? But I do wish him the best. It's sad that his homecoming didn't go as planned, but obviously you can see that he wasn't the person that he used to be on the court. His lack of aggressiveness, his willingness to settle for 3-point shots most of the time, and just overall lack of pace on the basketball court. It just shows that his knees are in worse shape that we thought coming into the season. They in the beginning of the season they spoke. Coach Tommy T spoke to Kemba Walker will be playing back to backs, and that wasn't mostly the case this season. And Kemba wasn't that. Kemba wasn't that. You feel me? He wasn't that. He wasn't able to play the back to backs the way that was expected of him this year. And just poor play, man. Too many times that we've seen him get 20 minutes of empty play, like no real production on the basketball court. And I'm just happy that we'll no longer be seeing that. There's other options. There's other options on the basketball team. And Kemba just ain't it, man. He ain't that guy no more, bro. He is not that guy no more. And it's sad to see, and it's sad to say. But hey, shout out to Leon Rose for stepping up and making the right choice and going over Coach Tommy T's head and benching Kemba. Ja, you might be right, bro. I'm not even gonna deny that this is a possibility. You feel me? Because also listening to the interview, there was no mention of Deuce's name with the possible options moving forward to fill the void of Kemba Walker. You know what I mean? To fill the minutes of Kemba Walker. He's sticking with the same old adage: if you give other people minutes. You got to take minutes away from somebody else. Yes, sir. That's exactly what you need to do, Coach Shabby T. You need to take minutes away from somebody else and give somebody else minutes. That's exactly what they're alluding to. But you know, whoever gets the minutes, it's a better look than Kemba Walker getting the minutes at this point. That's my point. I'll take Derrick Rose for 35 minutes a game for the remainder of the season. He missed like 20-something games, bro. I take Derrick Rose playing 35 minutes for the remainder of the season. He's been rested. You know, I'm not saying don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that that's the right choice. I'm saying that's just the better choice than Kemba Walker getting 20 minutes. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like Kemba Walker is a better choice than Derrick Rose playing 35 a night is a better choice than Kemba Walker playing 20. I know the risk that come along with Derrick Rose playing those minutes, but watching Kemba Walker go out there and give us absolutely nothing for 20 minutes in the beginning of a ball game is not going to work for me. It's not going to work for me. You know? So I'm not going to stick on this topic too long because, like I said, Kev already covered it. I just wanted to add my little 2 cents. But all right, on to our final topic of the day before I get off this. Pause. You know, my post-all expectations versus my post-all-star reality, right? My expectations of what's supposed to happen or what's going to happen versus what's the reality of what's actually going to happen, right? So my expectation is, you know, with Coach Tommy T saying things like everything is on the table, I expect to see him expand his rotations, shorter leashes with certain players, and seeing, you know, more of some young guys. You know, this is my expectation. I expect to see more Jericho Sims, less Taj. Excuse me. Being that Kemba Walker is benched, I expect to see more Deuce McBride. Being that everything is on the table, I expect to see more Cam Reddish getting more PT as well as Obi. You know, Kev, you are not the only one, bro. You are not the only one. You are not alone. I am here with you. In the words of the great Michael Jackson, R.I.P. You feel me? If Deuce don't get any burn, I'm gonna be tight. I'm gonna be tight. You feel me? But that's part of my expectation. I expect to see Obi get more minutes. I expect to see Cam get more minutes. I expect to see Jericho Sims get more minutes. If everything is truly on the table, like Coach Tommy T said, you know, pre-All-Star break. Those are the things I'm expecting. You know, those are things I'm expecting when it comes as far as rotation. Now, moving on to what I expect as actual play, you know, with the return of, you know, with the return of D Rose and RJ Barrett, I expect to see, you know, a uptick in wins. You know, there was a lot of things that we missed in the time that RJ Barrett was out. Coupled with the way that Julius Randle was playing, and you know, in Derrick Rose, I feel like closing out games is a key component, right? So let's just look at the stats, you know, of the last 7 games played from each player. You know, though Julius Randle has seen a lot of flack, received a lot of flack for his play over the season. Last 7 games, he's been an absolute monster. The last 7 games he played, he's been an absolute monster. 29.4 points a game, 12.4 rebounds, and 6.3. 12. Oh, I did that backwards. That's my apologies, yo. That's supposed to be assists and rebounds are mixed up on the thing. Assists and rebounds is mixed up because I make my own thing. Assists and rebounds are mixed up. Julius Randle is averaging 12.4 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game, right? And he's been playing like an absolute monster. Now you bring back the way RJ Barrett was playing before his injury. And again, I mixed it up again on. Oh man, I messed this up bad. So RJ Barrett averaging 21.6 points a game, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.9 assists a game. I mixed those up on there too. My bad. You feel me? I was rushing to get here. But anyway, you add those two things up, RJ Barrett and Julius Randle playing at this high level at the same exact time. I think this translates into wins. Not to mention, we got an honorable mention of Evan Fournier. He's been playing much better and consistent basketball as of late. If you can see him in the bottom left-hand corner. Again, the assisted rebounds are mixed up. My bad. He was averaging 17.6 points a game, 2.4 assists, and 3.6 rebounds a game, right? Evan, and you add that from your start in three of your starters. You're looking at over 60, like around 67 points from just three guys in your starting five, right? Who knows what the starting point guard position going to look like? But I know one thing that we sorely missed was Derrick Rose in the waning hours of a game, the waning moments of a game. Derrick Rose has it before he went out, wasn't particularly playing well. He was only averaging like 10.7 points a game. I think Derrick Rose stats are right, though. 4.4 assists and 3.4 rebounds coming off the bench. This is a drop from what he was doing last year, especially in the points per game. I think last year he averaged around like 12 points a game. But we know what Derrick Rose brings to us in the fourth quarter. This is the reason why he's on here. And the biggest knot on us when it comes to how we've been losing games has been closing out games. And Derrick Rose is an absolute closer. I think if Derrick Rose was on the court, we don't lose none of those 20-point leads. We win those games convincingly because Derrick Rose knows how to close games, right? Not only does he know how to close games as far as his scoring, he know how to close games. You know how to close games with his playmaking, being able to get guys set up, the appropriate pace that we need in the fourth quarter. Derrick Rose bring that. And it's very important that Derrick Rose is on the court in the fourth quarter for us. I honestly and truly believe my expectations is that with Derrick Rose back in the lineup, we don't lose these leads. The most important thing is that we don't lose these leads with Derrick Rose on the court. It's hard to say that we've been playing terrible. RJ Barrett alluded to that in his post-practice interview yesterday, excuse me. That you can't really say that we've been playing horrible. We just haven't closed out games. For you to be able to take these large leads, you have to be doing a lot of things right? You have to be doing a lot of things right. And throughout the game, you can see that the ball movement is a lot better in the first 2 to 3 quarters. The shooting is a lot better in the first 2 to 3 quarters. The energy is a lot better in the first 2 to 3 quarters. In most of these games, as of late, it's hard to say that we've been playing horrible. It's just the fact that we can't close out games, bro. You have to do a lot of good things to get these leads against these teams. Closing out games, it just hasn't been our strong suit, this season, period. There's a lot of things we could contribute to that. One thing I contribute to it is, Alec Burke running a point in the fourth quarter. Heavy minute log for key players in the second half and not having the energy to close out games. A lot of shaky rotations and lack of and lack of in-game adjustments by the coach. Uh, those are the things that we could contribute to. That I would contribute to some of the losses that we've taken as of late. Um, but one thing I wouldn't contribute to us losing these games is us playing horribly. We haven't been playing horribly. We've been playing actually pretty good basketball. It's just closing out games, having that one stretch that makes us lose the game. And I really feel when Derrick Rose come back, that's kind of remedied. You know, Ja, I see what you said about, you know, playing developing the young players. To be perfectly honest, right? You know, even though I chant the mantra of play the young guys, you also have to realize Coach Tommy T said it, and I agree with him. There are a lot of young guys on this team. You know, RJ Barrett is in the under 25 bunch. Emmanuel Quickly gets pretty sizable minutes, under 25 bunch. This Obi, we want Obi to get more minutes, but he do get some PT. You feel me? Like, so it's a lot of most of our players are under 25, bro. Julius Randle's a young player. Still, you know, he's closer to the veteran side. He's still on the right side of 30. So when we say the young players are their players being developed, RJ Barrett is being developed, Quickly is being developed. You know, my problem is, you know, that Coach Tommy T has a preference for veterans over the young guys that I don't agree with. But to say that none of the young players are being developed, I have to disagree. You know, I have to disagree because there are young players being developed on our team. And RJ Barrett is the biggest development of a young player that's happening right before our eyes. RJ Barrett is 21 years old, bro. And before he got injured, he played the best month of basketball in his life. There's a major development growth under the tutelage of Coach Tommy T. If you just look at RJ Barrett from his first season to his second season to where he is now, or where he was before he got injured. That's development, my friend. You know, we just are all upset at the rotations, and you got veterans like Kemba Walker, who has not been playing particularly well, and you have a young player like Deuce, who's in the G League, absolutely scorching the G League, showing that he does not belong there, and he's an absolute NBA player. That's where we're angry, because we feel that young guy needs to be played, you know. And as well as, you know, as much as I love Taj, shout out to my junior high school 117 alumni. You know what I mean? Taj logging 20-something minutes per game over, you know, Jericho Sims, who's an absolute physical specimen, pause. A guy that has amazing athleticism that needs to be getting PT over 37-year-old Taj Gibson, right? Those are the young players. And we're also upset at Julius Randle logging 37 minutes a game and not having the energy to close out games when Obi is only getting like 8-9 minutes a game, 11 at max. This is what we mean when we say play the young guys and develop the young guys. But to say that we don't develop any young guys, or Coach Tommy T doesn't develop any young guys, is inaccurate. There's young guys being developed. Like I said, Quickly is being developed. RJ Barrett's being developed. Obi's development is being slowed due to, you know, the rotation choice of Coach Tommy T. But there's development happening there. You know, we all want to see Cam Reddish play a little bit more. But, you know, I'm still on the fire Coach Tommy T train. And we're going to get there. Why? Mr. Man was good. Yeah. But you know, yeah, so there are players being developed, you know. and my expectation is to see RJ Barrett continue to grow. You know, he he was very truthful in his post game. This is a fact. This is a fact. This is a fact. This is a fact, Stephen. This is true. He did help develop Wiggins because there was definitely a step in Wiggins' game. Wiggins coming from Cleveland was considered a bust. He was not fulfilling the prospect of where he was drafted, the number one draft pick. They were starting to consider Wiggins a bust. And you've seen improvements and steps to improvements in his game when he went to Minnesota. Not quite where he is now, but there was definitely improvements there, right? And then he goes to Golden State, and now he's having a pretty decent season. But yeah, Jimmy Buckets in Chicago was a very raw player when he came into the league. You know, his offensive game was nowhere near what it is now. He was heralded more as a defensive player, and he Coach Tommy T developed his offensive game, helped him develop his offensive game in Chicago. This is a fact, Cap. You're not lying. You're not lying. So you know, even though I'm still on the fire Coach Tommy T train, I do have to give credit where credit is due. And to say that he doesn't develop young players is just not true. He does have a preference over leaning on his veterans a little bit too much. But Coach Tommy T mindset is to win now, and that's how he feels he needs to do it. But to say that he's not developing young players is inaccurate, right? But like I was saying about RJ Barrett is that I expect to see continued growth in RJ Barrett game. I like the way, you know, the offense has looked, even though we've been losing. Most recently in the first three quarters, the offense looked well. The tempo and the pace that we've played with, you know, leading into the All-Star break for most of the game is tailor-made for RJ Barrett's game. A lot of chances for him to get into transition and use his strength to finish at the basket or draw fouls. And also, you know, a lot more chances for wide open 3-point shots at the corners where he likes to shoot. So I do expect, my expectations is that RJ Barrett continues to blossom the way that he was before he got injured. Also, my expectation is for Julius Randle to continue play at the high level that he's been playing. As you see, he's been average in his last 7 games, averaging you could pretty much say averaging 30 points a game, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. These are monster numbers, man. And I continue to see him trend in that manner because he's going back to playing how he was playing last year. You know, pushing the pace, getting to the basket, creating contact, getting to the foul line, getting to his shots. You know, starting his offense with getting to the basket. That's the most important part. His mid-range shots is starting to fall the way it was last year, and lowering his 3-point attempts. That's the most important part of the turnaround, is him not chucking up as many 3-point shots and him getting to the basket. That's the most important part, right? And him playing with the zest and finesse that we need him to, you know, getting down the court quickly, sprinting down the court once he gets the basketball and making something happen in transition. You know, when we play with that kind of pace, obviously we're a tough team to beat. The ball moves. We get Evan in transition a lot in his favorite spots on the court, which is the corners, where he's deadly effective shooting a 3-point shot. He shoots like a 50% for career average from the corners, you know, and wide open corner shots. And that's what pace do. You get these guys into that kind of action where Julius Randle can make a quick decision whether to go all the way to the basket or kick it out to an open guy on a wing. and that's where we get the success from. Um, so I expect Julius Randle could keep on trending in the right way, getting back to his all-star form. That's an expectation of mine, right? That's a fact, Mr. Man. I wouldn't say slowly. I feel like he's already back there. You know, um, I think Coach Tommy T just needs to lower his minutes so he'd be able to close out games, right? That's an expectation of mine too. So I think I covered all my post All-Star game expectations, which is, Derrick Rose helping us close out games. The continued growth for RJ Barrett. Uh, Julius Randle continue to trend in the right direction with his style of play. Evan Fournier continue to play the way that we signed him to play. Like I showed you earlier, his numbers are kind of similar to what we was expecting when we signed him. We expecting an 18 point per game player, and over the last 7 games, he's been giving us that. And this also helps the large leads we've been taking in a lot of these games that we lost. So my expectations is that we're going to start to win some games, man. A lot more that we have been winning over the last 2 weeks. I expect that. Now versus what's the reality of what's going to happen, right? This is what I believe the reality of what's going to happen. I those are my expectations. This is the reality. I absolutely see Coach Tommy T playing Julius Randle the same amount of minutes. I absolutely believe that we see Julius Randle stay around the 37 minute per game mark. Absolutely, for the remainder of the season. I absolutely don't expect to see our young guys that we want to see play more get more PT. I don't expect to see Deuce get the minutes that we want him to get. Listen to Coach Tommy T in his post practice interview, and I'm getting right there too, Kev, right on the money. Listen to Coach Tommy T in his post practice interview. He's still convinced that Alec Burks plays well as a point guard. He said, this is a quote, direct quote from Coach Tommy T. Digging into the numbers, Alex Burks is our best option at that position. I don't know what numbers he's looking at, because it can't be the number that says that with Alec Burks running the point guard, he's the slowest pace point guard in the NBA right now. And he's not a point guard, but he's the slowest pace point guard in the NBA right now, dead last. Can't be that number. Can't be that Alec Burks has the lowest fourth quarter points on the team, but has the highest fourth quarter minutes. Can't be that number. Can't be that number that he's looking at. But in his mind, Alec Burks for him is still the best option. Alec Burks is still the best option at the point guard. I don't get it. I don't understand it. When there's other viable options. Other viable options. I like Quick at point guard better than Alec Burks. I'll start Quick at point guard over Alec Burks. I'll start Miles McBride in point guard over Alec Burks. I like Derrick Rose coming off the bench. I think what he does for the second unit, him playing with the likes of Obi, hopefully Cam gets. That's another thing. I don't think Cam. We see an uptick in Cam's minutes. I think they actually diminish with the with RJ Barrett being back in the rotation. But I think Derrick Rose playing with Cam Reddish and Obi would be amazing to watch. A bench squad of Obi, Derrick Rose, Quick, Cam, Obi, and I wish Jericho could get the PT. Jericho Sims would be absolutely amazing. It'll be Showtime basketball for real. But I don't think that's going to happen. Uh, I think Alec Burke is going to eat up a lot of those minutes. Is going, the 2 and the 3 position minutes are going to be split between Evan, RJ, and Burks. I don't see that we get and quick and yeah, quick. He's going to be in there too, especially coming off the bench playing with Derrick Rose. So at least as far as the two guard minutes go, right? So we got the culmination of that. I don't see, you know, Coach Tommy T giving Cam those minutes, even though he should. It makes absolute sense that he should. I think he should take away some of the minutes that Alec Burke play and give some of those minutes to Cam Reddish. Absolutely. Between Alec Burke and Fournier, whoever's not playing well in the beginning of the game, you snatch some of those minutes and give Cam those minutes. I think you absolutely should. If Kemba Walker is being benched for the remainder of the season, that's a fact. If Cam Reddish, I mean, if Kemba Walker is being benched for the remainder of the season, I absolutely believe that you give uh McBride a shot at running point. If not starting, at least off the bench, right? But that's not a reality for me, right? That's not what's reality. Like let's be perfectly honest, and we've all seen Coach Tommy T coach throughout this season. I don't see him deferring from who he is as a coach. You know, I don't see him just mixing everything up, even though he claims that everything is on the table. I don't see him doing that. I see Alec Burke starting that point. So be prepared for that. A lot for the remainder of the season. I see that's a reality. I see that happening. Uh, I see I see the bench coming back. A reality is that the bench is going to come back into form. The bench has been the weak part for our team in most recent games. I believe that absolutely comes back into form with Derrick Rose on the court. Just the pace that he could get these guys and knowing how to get people the basketball where they like the ball at. I think we start seeing Obi start trending back in the right direction with his style of play with Derrick Rose on the court because Obi's been kind of on a down slump in the minutes that he's been receiving, except for the last couple games he was playing pretty good. But for the most part, since Derrick Rose been down, he hasn't been playing as well, right? But that changes with Obi, right? So that's a reality. The bench comes back, right? And this is what makes me believe that even though this is what makes me believe even though we lost a lot of our games recently, we've been up in a lot of those games, especially going into the second half, right? And, and we've been up, and we haven't been able to close out these games. We've done a lot of good things, and I think with how well I believe that the bench is the reality of the bench coming back into form with Derrick Rose and how well the bench is going to play and how well Derrick is at closing out games. Um uh I believe that we win more games, man. The reality is I definitely see us in a play-in spot, right? I definitely see us in a playing spot. I believe we're gonna go on a few game run very soon, and I see us in a playing spot. Uh, Ja, you know, uh, Ja, listen, man. 12 rebounds in the last 7 games dictates otherwise, Playboy. Let's be perfectly honest. 12 rebounds in the last 7 games dictate otherwise. I mean, do he takes plays off? I'm not denying that. But to say that he don't box out, that's inaccurate. That's inaccurate. 12 rebounds in the last 7 games. 12 rebounds per game in the last 7 games. That dictates otherwise. You know? I didn't really fit well. Uh, that's not necessarily true. Well, RJ was out, so he's he he's a shooter, right? He's a shooter. Um, but quickly, even though he's been struggling, he's a shooter. And he's been running the point. Uh, but the thing is, I don't even think that this team should be a 3-point shooting team and chucking up a lot of threes. I think we crush teams when we're running the floor and getting to the basket. You know, we get to the basket, and I think Steven, I think the reason why it's not consistent because we haven't been playing basketball the right way. A lot of the threes that a lot of the guys take are coming off of screen and rolls and trucking up the three, right? It's not coming off a ball moving and getting wide open shots. Because when we do that, we smoke guys and we shoot at a very high efficiency when that's happening. When guys are penetrating, getting to the basket, getting 2 feet into the paint, and kicking the ball out and ball rotation happen and we get wide open shots, we shoot 3-pointers at a very high efficiency and at a consistent basis. But when we're doing things like, high screen and roll and shooting off of that, that's when there's a problem. That's where there's a problem. But when we're moving, when we play, exactly, Kev, when we play aggressive and we get into the basket, get into the foul line, making the right reads and kicking the ball out to the 3-point line and getting ball movement, we shoot at a very high clip. When we stop doing that, that's where the inconsistency comes in. That's where you start seeing us missing a lot more. But there's shooting on this team. It's just about taking the right shots. That's been the problem. That's been the problem. When ball movement is happening and guys are getting wide open shots, we be cooking from the 3-point line. Yeah, but that's what I expect, and that's what the reality is, man. The reality is that we're fighting for a play-in spot. I absolutely believe that we could make it. With the way that we've been playing in these last, few games. Albeit that we lost a lot of them. For 3 quarters, we've been doing a lot of really good things. We've been taking a lot of large leads on teams. We've been coming out with the right type of intensity and the right type of energy. Now, the key is us, closing these games. That's it. And I really believe that Derrick Rose is the key to that. I also believe RJ Barrett is the key to that. I also believe that RJ Barrett was playing in some of those games that we had those 20-point leads, we don't lose. Because RJ Barrett is going to force the issue and get to the basket and get us to the foul line. Now, one thing I need him, and I hope he's been working on in his timeout, is his free throw shooting. That has to be better for him. Especially coming down the stretch of games, has to be better, right? But I also think that we win a lot of those games if RJ Barrett was playing. That's not necessarily true either. Some teams get off, pause, but I don't believe that we the worst defensive team when it comes to 3-point percentage. I don't believe that. And if you looking at me, looking to the side because I'm about to actually check that stat. Opponents 3. Yeah, my bad, y'all. But yeah, I think I think wrong one. My bad. Definitely trying to multitask right now. Almost got it. Where is it? Uh, I can't find it right now. But yeah, I don't believe that's true though. Us being the worst when it comes to opponent 3-point percentage. I don't believe that. I don't believe that to be true. You feel me? I can't find the stat, but I remember looking at the stat and I don't believe that to be true. Oh, opponent 3-point percentage. Yeah, that's it. Well, we ain't great, but we ain't bad. We like 15th in the lead in opponent. Nah, we like that's still not true. We're like 15th in the lead in opponent 3-point percentage. We're like middle of the pack when it comes to opponent 3-point percentage. Like I just literally looked at the stat on NBA.com. You know what I mean? Like we 15 in opponent 3-point percentage. So yeah, there's that. Right. But in defensive, we are in the top 15 in defensive rating. You feel me? Like, so that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's all about us closing out games, bro. That's what it's about. We close out games, we win because we put ourselves in position to win games. Oh, now we dropped out of the top 15. We went back down to 17. We went back down to 17. But yeah, we put ourselves in position to win games, especially over this last stretch. We got to close out games. So this is true, Stephen. And I blame that a lot on that big drought that we had, like after we won. That we went to that 5-1 start, and we started struggling like crazy. But we had a stretch of like 20 games where we were like number one in defensive rating, right? We we were holding a lot of teams under, you know, 100 points. And over this recent stretch, you talking about 3-point made, but I'm also talking about percentage. You know what I mean? Like in percentage, people are not shooting that high of percent. They shoot a lot, but they're not shooting that high of percentage against us versus other teams, right? That was the point I was making, Kev. But yeah, we had that stretch where we was keeping a lot of guys under 100 points, and and I think recently we went back down because of our inability to close out games. You know, we start out good, and then we hit that point where teams just start turning up on us and end up winning, right? Um, bruh, listen, it, no, no, I don't think, I really don't think it's the whole Bullock effect. Like I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that because I've seen this team be able to play, team defense at a really high level and hold teams to really low scoring points. You feel me? Uh and I don't believe that's the book. I just think it's inconsistency. You know? I think it's inconsistency across the board. As far as the starting lineup go, as far as the bench, like is that's the problem. Like we have times where the starting five will play really great defense and the bench won't, and vice versa, right? I think last year the difference was that both units played defense really well the whole game, right? And that's the difference. Reggie Bullock, not trying to knock him, he did a great job uh defensively, but I don't think the massive drop in our defensive rating this season was because we lost Bullock. or Elf, because Elf in the second half of the season barely got any minutes. He started the game, and then once he got subbed out, it was clipped for him. So yeah, I don't credit it to neither one of them. I just believe that it was an inconsistency in defensive intensity when it comes to the starting lineup and the bench. Uh, I also think the defense could be better if we played, you know, Jericho Sims. I think Taj coming off the bench is playing, out of position. He does some good things. I'm not saying he don't. I got mad love for Taj, but I think that him being not a center. One, he's not a center. He's 6'9", bro. Like he's not a center. And when he's playing against prototypical centers, he gets eaten a lot, right? And that's a problem. Like you can play Taj against smaller lineups. When people want to play small ball, absolutely put Taj in there. He's gonna eat. But when you got centers, like real live centers, 7-footers, he should not be. That's a problem. Noel, we all know that Noel, he's plays 1-2 games and out for like 10. So I'm not even counting on him. I'm just saying, like, you put Jericho Sims in that place. Uh, I've seen the improvement in Jericho Sims defensively. Yes, he still missed some assignments, but the whole team does, right? But for the most part, he's usually always in the right place. He's usually always in the right place when it comes to pick and rolls and help defense. He's usually always in the right place. He gets beat mostly on, you know, veteran savvy, and him not being on the court enough to be aware of these veteran trick moves, right? So yeah, so I think that remedies, the second unit center problem. Just play Jericho Sims, but the reality is he's not going to see that time, right? Uh, that's last year, Steven, and he's hurt, and I'm not even factoring him into the conversation right now. When he's on the court, he's not the same guy. His lateral movement is poor. If you look at him moving, I used to say he looks lost on the court, and then I took a deeper look at it. Uh, he just can't move, bro. His lateral movement is shot. Whatever's going on with his knee is not allowing him to be able to move the way he was moving last year. A lot of those blocks that he got really came off of help defense situations, you know. And he can't move the way he was moving last year to get those same blocks. So I think, like, when he's on the court, he's become more of a minus than a positive. I would absolutely give Jericho Sims those minutes over Taj and Noel at this point, because Noel is not healthy and it's obvious. And I think even coming out of the All-Star break, I believe I saw that he's still on the injury report for not being able to play on Friday. So yeah, I would go absolutely go with Jericho over him and Taj at this point. Yeah, I'm 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 looking at stuff live while I'm on the air. Well, they didn't update Noel's status, but they still have him listed on the injury report. You feel me? And and that's the problem. All right? That's the problem. How long he's been out and his knee is still messed up. Like, not only do I think you pack up Kemba Walker, you also pack up Noel. Let's give Jericho Sims a real look. Uh, because every time he step on the court, he makes an immediate impact immediately, and I want to see that more. That's funny. I'm putting that up. This is a fact, bro. And he can't catch. You feel me? And Noel can't catch. That's a fact. You feel me? But yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all I got for y'all today, man. Or uh, tomorrow yeah. Tomorrow, I'll be on Who Run the City with Big Fan Breezy. He in the comments trying hard. You feel me? Like being a try hard right now. But yeah, tomorrow, Who Run the City? I wanna Breezy, we gotta talk, man. The Knicks play tomorrow. Since we doing this from home, let's try to move this up if we can. You heard? Word. I'm trying to like watch that game in real time because then I'm gonna do the post game right after. You feel me? So yeah. So I will get back to you as far as what the start time for Who Run the City is, and then hopefully I'll do a post game for the Knicks game right after. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Tune in if you're not already. Follow everything. It's all on the bottom of the screen. Follow us on Twitter, IG, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. We here. You feel me? I appreciate you, Ja. You know what I mean? I appreciate all y'all for pulling up. If you didn't already, hit some of those emojis, those like buttons. You know what I mean? Like, do all that. You know what I mean? Let this algorithm go up. I need people. I need the world to see this. You feel me? I need the world to see this. You feel me? So yeah. Yeah, Curtis, I appreciate you for pulling up, but yeah, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Where's Bonds? Huh? Know what I mean? But yeah, appreciate y'all for pulling up. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this again tomorrow. We're gonna do this again tomorrow. If you haven't done it already, go follow us on Who Run the City. Yeah, I mean, on most platforms it's KVN Who Run the City. Facebook is KVN Who Run the City. YouTube KVN Who Run the City. Twitter is just Who Run the City. And follow us, man. Pull up for watch me cook Big Fan Breezy tomorrow, like I normally do. You know what I mean? like I normally do. Pull up. You know what I mean? Create to see, get a stretch 4 or 5 because I want to see Big and Pop along with Piccolo. Yeah. So I don't know. You talking about a stretch 4? Julius Randle ain't going nowhere. So who minutes you gonna take? Julius Randle ain't going nowhere. And as long as Coach Tommy T is the coach, Julius Randle's gonna play 37 minutes a game. So where he's getting minutes at? That's the question. That's the answer I have for that. You feel me? I'm not saying that your want is wrong, but the reality of the situation is that you go get a stretch for what? Julius Randle ain't going nowhere. And he shouldn't. And that's a fact. I get a lot of you guys hate him for whatever reason, but he's not going anywhere. Get used to it. You know what I mean? So appreciate y'all for pulling up. I'm off this. I holla. Oh, hold on. You know what I mean, everybody be having, I be watching a lot of people, they be closing out their shows with music. So I'm gonna do the same.
Hello, expectation. No matter where I go, I'm always waiting. You and me both know that I've been patient.
And even though I'm living with my feet up on the ground, I'ma always be around, cause no matter what it is, I know you gon'
Hello, expectation. No matter where I go, I'm always waiting. You and me both know that I've been patient.
And even though I'm living with my feet up on the ground, I'ma always be around, cause no matter what it is, I know you gon' hold me down. Living every day like my last. See, my life ain't been the same ever since Derek crashed. Might see me up on Staten in the 6'4". Swag saying I ain't going back to Bispo. Bright lights, bad chick just to flirt with. It's my girl, but only when that cam's working. In my world, it's completely the opposite. So when that cam goes off, it's back to the projects. Back to them gunshots and sirens. Money on my mind, trying to get about this violence. It ain't all good when you living the way I am, and I can make it. All I gotta do is rhyme shit. Give my fam what I wanted for my mom's it. Man up, still I got the doubt up in my mind, kid. I know I got angels just looking down on me. I'm just trying to make them prouder.
Hello, expectation. No matter where I go, I'm always waiting. You and me both know that I've been patient.
And even though I'm living with my feet up on the ground, I'ma always be around. Cause no matter what it is, I know you gon' hold me down.
Look, this rap thing ain't ever what it seems. Half of it is a facade, like I'm selling you a dream. I pop pills when my nights go wrong, and then I smile for the cameras when the lights come on. So all the pretty girls wanna flirt with me. And brain's cool, but that ain't smart enough for me. And wifey think I'm still who I used to be. And I don't blame her, I'm still trying to get used to me. You see, it's happening so fast, and money ain't a thing. Still feeling like I'm homeless, how I'm looking for change. The business got me feeling like a slave. Gave my freedom for a crack at the house, the whip and the chains. Something wrong here, I don't feel right. Is she faithful when I'm gone? Are my kids right? I just wanna fast forward to the good life. Until then, I just gotta make sure these hooks right.
Expectation. No matter where I go, I'm always waiting. You and me both know that I've been patient.
And even though I'm living with my feet up on the ground, I'ma always be around. Cause no matter what it is, I know you gon' hold me down. Going through the hospital